Good morning, ladies. I hope you had a wonderful Thanksgiving break. I know I did. I was sick the entire time, so I'm going to try to make this video relatively shorter than the other ones because I don't want you to have to listen to my annoying voice and I don't want to blow my nose the whole time. So, with that being said, if you logged on this morning at 8:10, I'm very sorry I was not there. Well, I was there, but then I had no sound, and so just going to make this YouTube video. Hope that's okay, but I had to reboot my computer and take it to tech, and they had to figure out the sound. So hopefully you can hear me now. He says you can. It should be working. But just a few housekeeping things. We are on chapter 14, and like I told you before, there's only 15 chapters in this textbook. So this week and next week, and then we're done with the book. Hope you guys have enjoyed the book. It's not the best, but it actually, these last couple chapters are a lot of fun. I thought last week was a lot of fun. They're actually really relevant and applicable to your teaching career. So those ones in the middle, I know about the history and the psychology and all that, they tend to drag on, and they aren't the most exciting, but it's just kind of an overview of, you'll have to actually take classes on the history of education and philosophy of education and psychology, child psych, and hopefully that was just a good overview. You've heard those terms before, but you will go more in depth in your college experience with that. But with that being said, the last two chapters I think are a lot of fun. The last three chapters really are a lot of fun, and like I said, very relevant to your teaching future. Okay, chapter 14, what can new teachers expect? New teacher experiences are across the board, I think I could say, challenging, stressful, overwhelming is a big word that first year teachers use a lot. I am a mentor teacher, and so I kind of am the veteran teacher, and I take on new teachers, and I just work through the year with them and mentor them and help them. And that's the one thing that they all say is just, I'm just so overwhelmed. So we're going to kind of work through some scenarios and watch a YouTube video and hopefully work through some of those stressors before you even are in your first year teaching, and hopefully kind of lower that stress level and give you some tools to use to get over those humps. Okay, so what I have used this week is Edutopia. It is a wonderful site if you ever need anything education-wise. It is the George Lucas Foundation, and anything you need, just type it in here, and there's articles that pop up, and they're all research-based. So I typed in new teachers, and this is what I came up with: setting up new teachers for success. So under the guidance of classroom veterans, new teachers learn the job quicker and improve their practice. The other article is 3 tips for first year teachers. Good teaching is about more than lesson plans, focusing on relationships, reflection, and resilience. Those are actually wonderful words. You're not just going to go in and create a wonderful lesson plan and then not know how to deliver that. Developing relationships with your students, with your parents, with your community members, that is a very good tip for first year teachers. Always reflect, and then obviously resilience. You're going to need a lot of resilience as a first year teacher. This YouTube video is also by Edutopia, and it is 6 tips for first year teachers. It's just like 3.5, 4 minutes long. It's a wonderful video for you to watch. And then the last thing I have for you here, the book has wonderful scenarios for you for us as a class to just kind of read through and have discussions. Well, since we are not face-to-face and since we are not live, we can't really have these discussions. So what I did was I just copied them, scanned them through my book, or from my book, scanned them from my book, and just uploaded them onto here. So anytime you see this, I didn't do it in color, but anytime you see this box with these stack of rocks, it says pre-service to practice. This is a place that I want you to read this scenario from a teacher and just pause and reflect. Here's some pause and reflect questions. You don't actually have to write them down, but think about what they're asking you to pause and reflect on, and hopefully that'll give you some tools to overcoming what this teacher was fighting. So this is Charlotte Tucker, 2nd grade. The next one, this was Charlotte Tucker also, but I realized how to copy it on both sides. This is high school math. This one is middle school science, 6th grade, 5th grade, first day of school, 4th grade, high school math, and then high school English and high school history. So there's, I think, 15 total, maybe 10 total. I'm not quite sure. But I just want you to go through and read those on your own. You really are going to learn from their scenarios. I wish we could have those conversations and those discussions, but it's okay. Just go ahead and make sure you're reading those and not skipping those, because they really will give you some insight to first year teaching. Okay, as far as the lab, I want you to think about your first year in the profession. What do you expect to be your major problems as a beginning teacher, and what steps can you take now to overcome or prevent those problems? So as a mentor teacher, the number one thing I hear is time management and classroom management. If you're a high school or middle school teacher, you really only have 55 minutes or whatever that class block is. If you're an elementary teacher, your time is a little more flexible, but you can't spend all day on reading and then at the end of the day have covered no math, science, social studies, anything like that. So time management is really crucial. And classroom management too. So if you are a disciplinarian and you are able to go in and make those connections with kids and, manage them and get them all on the same page doing what you're supposed to be doing, you'll be fine. If you aren't quite sure about discipline, if you aren't quite sure how to get everybody's attention and you're maybe a little more on the shy side, classroom management is going to be one of a major factor in your first couple years of teaching. So the more you can learn about classroom management and time management, the better you will be. So my advice to you, I wish I would have done this because I went to Fort Hays State for my undergrad, and back then, pre-COVID, way pre-COVID, we were actually in classrooms the entire last year of our teaching pathway. So I saw so many classroom teachers. I saw a lot of classroom management tips. I saw a lot of time management. I saw teachers using timers, using the sand hourglass. There's a lot of tips for pre-service teachers that you can learn through other teachers. So if you ever have the opportunity to go in and observe any other teachers, write down what they're using for classroom management tips, write down what they're using for time management, and just keep a running list of that. So by the time you graduate, you'll have a good toolbox of ideas, and then pick what fits you. You're going to learn right away, oh, that would never work for me. That's just, not my style. Or you might see something that's, just perfect for you. And so you'll want to make sure you write all those down. Okay. Next thing is make a list of your potential teaching strengths. How can you sharpen them and use them effectively in your teaching? So just right now, think about, classroom management was always one of my biggest strengths. And then always finding ways to sharpen them. And the last thing you're going to do is find the newest teacher in your building, ask them what advice they have for new teachers, and then also have them describe their first year teaching to you. So you're going to ask that question and they're going to be like, oh, man. Don't let that intimidate you. Make sure you just take good notes and write down what their first year teaching was like. And then hopefully we can learn from them also. So with that being said, that is our chapter 14. Next week we will work on 15, and then we'll do our philosophy of education, and then we will be complete. So hope you guys have enjoyed this class. I hope you enjoyed this chapter 14. It's, pretty light. It's not heavy as far as, philosophers and dates and times, but it is very relevant and very applicable to your future in education. So hopefully you take the time to read all the articles and watch the YouTube videos, and definitely read all those scenarios. Have a wonderful week. If you have any questions, I will be available through email or, well, my Skycan or my USD 459. So have a wonderful week and good luck in basketball, everyone.